A very good afternoon, March. Thanks for joining us. It is the 7th day of September and you are just on time for Trending News. I'm Nancy Lima. Do stay with me for the next few minutes as I bring you up to speed with what's trending today. And as well, you can stream this live broadcast across all our social media platforms where we are at Lookuptv on Facebook, on Twitter and on our YouTube channel. Let's begin. Appearing before the National Assembly Ad Hoc Committee of Inquiry into WorldCoin, Data Commissioner Immaculate Kasait has called on lawmakers to review the Data Protection Act of 2019 and its regulations following the controversial WorldCoin registration. Her sentiments come after concerns were raised about the privacy and security of personal data collected from Kenyans. WorldCoin is a cryptocurrency initiative that claims to offer universal basic income to its users by scanning their eyes.
Honorable Chair and members, on safety measures, Tool for Humanity Corporate alleged the following technical and organization measures to mitigate risks and ensure compliance with the data protection principles. Development and implementation of policies such as code of conduct, internal biometrics, processing policy, internal information security policy, personal continuity plan, personal code of conduct, incident reporting plan, encryption and partitioning of data, logical access, traceability, logging, archiving and minimizing the amount of data, operating security and protection of servers, cyber and cloud services, managing hardware backups and network security. Honorable Chair and members, on the 8th question sought to know the measures in indemnifying Kenyans from unlawful use of the data by WorldCoin or its agent. Honorable Chair and members, the Data Protection Act is a self-healing statute which provides for the following safeguards for Kenyans against unlawful use of their data by data controller or data processor. In order to protect the data subject, the Act has empowered the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner to 1. Cancel a data controller certificate as provided for under Section 22. 2. Issue an enforcement notice as provided for by Section 58. 3. Issue a penalty notice as provided for under Section 62. 4. Issue administrative fine as provided for in Section 63 of the Act. 5. Direct the compensation to the data subject as provided for in Section 65 of the Act. The above provisions are sufficient indemnification provisions to ensure that data subject can be indemnified in case where unlawful use has occurred. Honorable Chair and members, pursuant to the provisions, powers provided for under Section 22B of the Data Protection Act and the Regulation 16.1.2 of the Registration Regulation 2021, the certificate, as earlier stated, of Tools for Humanity and Tools for Humanity German were revoked, and we have attached.
That story will be coming away in details in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, with the lack of capacity in sign language interpretation among social and healthcare workers in Kenya, people living with hearing impairment have decried pressing challenges when it comes to accessing their sexual and reproductive health. Speaking in Embu Town, those with hearing impairment are now appealing to the national and county governments to train the workers on deaf culture and sign language to improve patients' confidentiality and quality of services.
I'm Charles. I'm deaf. Today, we as deaf people, we are here and we are giving our grievances to the government because the deaf people have been left out in the society, in school, in education. Most of us deaf people, we are suffering on sex and reproductive health issues.
I thank Deaf Empowerment Society of Kenya so much, especially the CEO, for organizing for this workshop. The deaf people have gathered here in Embu Town with an aim of learning and also breaking the barriers and the challenges that we have as the deaf community. We have truly suffered. We are discriminated in the society, in different communities, and also in our families and in health facilities.
Today we are gathered here so that we can talk to our people in terms of the rights, the sexual and reproductive health rights of very young adolescents who are deaf. Because from what we have gathered from data, it shows that this particular group of people has been left out in terms of targeting by at the community level, at the parent level, and also at the government level. Also, healthcare workers to be trained on deaf culture and attitude, as well as on sign language, so that they are able to understand in a much better way and offer quality services to deaf people and also persons with disability.
Down to the coast region, residents of Mumangani area, Malindi sub-county, held peaceful demonstrations today against what they termed as invasion of their land by Agricultural Development Corporation. According to the residents, approximately 60 families have been affected by the land invasion, with most of the families losing 2 to 6 acres despite having title deeds. The residents are now calling upon President RUTO and Governor Gideon Mung'aro to intervene and make sure they do not lose their own land.
Leo tuko hapa mchana wa leo kwa ajili ya masikitiko makubwa sana. Sisi wananchi wa Malimo tulikuwa tunajua ya kwamba huku kuna ardhi ambayo ni ya ADC. Ardhi hii ni ardhi ambayo imetengwa maalum kwa upanuzi wa miradi ya serikali, na tunaifahamu. Sisi tumekuwa majirani wa shamba ya ADC kwa muda mrefu sana. Lakini sasa kitu ambacho kinatushangaza ni ule utoaji wa mipaka ya shamba ya ADC ambayo umefanyika kuanzia siku 3 za nyuma, ambazo hata sasa wanaendelea kutoa hiyo mipaka. Ni kwamba katika ile mipaka tunayoijua ya shamba ya ADC sivyo ambavyo imetolewa, na ukweli ni kwamba wananchi wenyewe hawakuhusishwa. Wananchi wa Kakuyuni Ward hawakuhusishwa. Ama ulihusishwa? Wananchi wa Malimo hawakuhusishwa. Chifu hakuita mkutano, assistant chief hakutuita mkutano, DCC hakutuita mkutano, ili tukajua ya kwamba watu wa ADC wanakuja kutoa mipaka ya shamba yao.
Tafanya nini na watoto wangu mimi? Na kama ni serikali ili tupatie karatasi za nini za total deed hapa. Hata karatasi ndio hii. Karatasi ndio hii. Hii ni karatasi hii. Walitupa hivi sasa wanakuja kutuwekea hizi vidude hapa hizi. Si waweke kule kwao? Kabisa. Waweke kwao. Si waweke kule kwao. Kwa nini walikuja wakaweka hapa? Waweke kwao. Sasa mimi naomba ombi langu ambalo nalitaka, ADC nilikuwa najua iko, lakini hapa si mpaka wa ADC. Ninaomba kwa imani ADC ije iondoe hivi vigingi vyao wapeleke kule kwao. Waondoe.
Sisi tunalia. Tunataka msaada, hata kama ni msaada kwa serikali. Serikali imeanza rahisi na gavana. Tunataka msaada, manake tunapokonywa mashamba hatujui tuende wapi.
Moving on, youth from pastoral communities in the North Rift region have embraced education through joining technical and vocational education training, which has in turn reduced harmful cultural practices as well as promote peace and stability. Many youth who are engaged in retrogressive practices of banditry and cattle rustling have now turned their lives around by enrolling in TVETs to gain entrepreneurship knowledge and skills.
My name is Beria Wawira, and Program Officer at Zizi Afrique Foundation. We are here in West Pokot County for a campaign dubbed Rebranding of TVET campaign, where we want to change the perception of the youth here to join TVET in large numbers. One of the challenges, or one of the gaps we have identified over time, is that TVET has been seen as the place where failures or people who have performed poorly go to. But we are changing that narrative through this campaign and saying TVET is the way to go, and form TVET. As you can see from the behind the reflector I have here, we are saying people need to enroll in TVETs so that they're able to gain skills for life, and also for them to become fully skilled for work and life as well.
We have around 1,289 TVETs and counting and around 76 universities. But you get the funding that government gives, the capitation that we get is less than 5%. So it's a mind shift for the TVET students themselves to join. For policies makers to also think about policies that encourage people to join. For funders to also consider funding the TVET institution to have more people joining. And the community as well, because they're the ones who propagate this notion that it's a place for failures. So just having a positive mindset about TVET, and now we're having the dual training where the employers and the institutions can work together to offer the training that is needed, need-based training.
And the Let's End Fistula initiative, a campaign started by a non-governmental organization aimed at educating people and reducing stigmatization around fistula victims. According to Sarah Omega, one of the organizers, the initiative will see women put into groups and given psychological help, which will help them regain their confidence both physically and socially. The group also educates the women on income-generating streams in order to support themselves and their families.
Fistula has a lot of stigma. The women are not able to engage in various activities. They slide into poverty, and therefore the goal for our economic empowerment is to help them to be able to get new revenue income generating streams, whereby they can be able to help their families, engage in projects at the individual levels as well as the group levels. And after a few years, we thought it wise that instead of waiting for women to get fistula and we treat them, we thought it was important for us to be able to engage in prevention work. And in prevention, what we try and do is we use the women who have gone through this to be messengers. They carry the message to be able to tell others that it is possible to get treated and rebuild their lives from this condition.
Ile wakati mimi nimepata fistula ni wakati ile ambayo nilipata mtoto wangu wa mwisho na ikaonekana kwamba uzazi wangu ulikuwa umeharibika. Nilikuwa natoka na mkojo kila wakati mpaka nikashangaa ni nini inafanyika na mimi. Kwa hivyo nilienda hospitali nikatibiwa. Sasa kwa saizi niko vizuri. Na kuna watu wengine huku nje ambao ni wagonjwa lakini wameogopa kusema maneno yao. Mujitokeze nje, mkuje, mutibiwe bure. Hakuna pesa ambayo sisi tulitoa.
Kupitia kwa hili shirika la fistula nilitibiwa na nikajisikia vizuri. Saa hizi wasiwasi liniondokea, nimejisikia kama mama wenzangu. Ndio kwa maana wakati hili shirika likakuja likatufanya tukawa kikundi ambacho sisi ni waathiriwa, na katika hiki kikundi tumefaidika na mafunzo jinsi mlivyoelezewa.
And some sporting news, officials from Sports Kenya visited General Kasam Playfield in Kirinyaga County to assess its status before the government commences process of upgrading the facility. This comes 3 weeks after President William RUTO committed to upgrade the facility once the county government allocates 100 million shillings promised by Governor Waiguru to kickstart the works. Waiguru noted that once the stadium is upgraded, it will generate revenue through hosting local, regional and national sports events.
Hawa watu wa Geshogo hawana kiwanja ingine ya kuchezea isipokuwa hii iko hapa. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nataka kukuambia tunaweza fanya partnership vile tumefanya ile ya Kipes. Nikitoa kama 100 hivi milioni na wewe unaweza niongezea milioni 500 tutengeneze hii stadium. Mama, namna gani?
Ya kwanza ya stadium ukiweka milioni 100 nitamaliza hiyo stadium. Tumalizania hapo.
We are a technical team from Sports Kenya, which is a state corporation under the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sports. We have a presidential directive in terms of looking at how we can complete the stadium in collaboration with the county. We will come again now with a design team so that now we can be able to come up with designs, bills of quantities, and agree on the scope of works so that we get now the estimates and then we discuss the budget, and then once we get confirmation of funds from the government, we initiate the project.
And we've come to the end of the broadcast this afternoon. But let me quickly bring you up to speed with what you can be expecting in our subsequent bulletins. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has made another impromptu visit at the Nyayo House. Remember, this is his third impromptu visit at the Nyayo House. And of course, just overseeing the process of passports. And of course, he says that within the span of the last 1 month, this is his third visit, just saying that he has to make sure that the passports are produced in time. So we'll be able to see the details of that story. He has greeted a few Kenyans who are in queues just awaiting to be served as well. That is a story that we are working on. Will be coming your way later on. And as well, the CECs during the tenure of former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko are being investigated due to fraud. We'll be giving you details of that story. Will be coming up later on. And of course as well, World Coin Probe. Those are just some of the stories that you can be expecting at 7 p.m. Lookup Tarifa and at 9 p.m. Lookup News. For now though, it's goodbye. I am Nancy Nalima. Appreciate you for watching. Keep it Lookuptv.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893